right, so the draft coming up tonight. All of these conversations that I've heard with Victor Wembanyama is he seems like he's really mature for 19 years of age. Well thought out, sense of humor. In fact, he went to Yankee Stadium, rode the subway. Like all these things sound wonderful. And he sounds worldly. And he might be, since he's been playing professionally for the last couple of years and playing against grown men. But it's something strange where you hear somebody who feels refined and, they probably know how to set a table. You put the spoon there and the fork there. He's soft-spoken. I hate when somebody says, boy, they're well-spoken, because usually that has to do with a minority. Like, he's really well-spoken. No, he is a great speaker. He is, he speaks French, speaks English, but when you say, oh, he's really well-spoken, no, he just is somebody who knows what to say and how to say it. And all these interviews, so you wonder, does he have that killer instinct? And I always go back to Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu would come on the show and he'd be like, hey, Dan, how are you? And I'm thinking, how does that guy rip your head off? And Dominican Sue, same way. Mike Tyson. Hey, Todd, give me a little Mike Tyson.
I just want to tell you that I'd love to have you come over my house sometime and check out the birds. That'll be kind of a silly time.
Okay. And then he would get in the ring and then he would kill you. But Polamalu is the example where you go, that guy, you would never know what he did if you met him. And then all of a sudden you see him on the football field and you're like, that's that same guy. And Victor Wembanyama seems like, I don't know if he's got that killer in him. And I don't know if you need it, other than nobody thought that about Tim Duncan. Man, he seems really passive. David Robinson, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. But he still played with such great athleticism. Yeah, Akeem Olajuwon. Yeah, you sit down with him, very peaceful, very Zen-like guy. Then you get on the floor. Not everybody has to be Michael or Kobe or Bird, Isaiah, that intensity. But I did wonder about that when you hear his voice and he just sounds like he's just very mature for a 19-year-old. That stand out to anybody here? Would you have doubts about Victor Wembanyama because he just seems soft-spoken?
I confuse soft-spoken for not intense, which doesn't make any sense at all. But Victor was sitting there. He has like his legs crossed. He was sitting there talking. It was like a actor's studio interview. And does that mean he can't elbow people or get in people's faces?
Yeah, I don't know. But it just struck me as that's a 19-year-old. Credit to him and his family. Yes, Marv.
How do you want him to talk? Like Macho Man Randy Savage?
A little bit.
Oh, yeah, brother.
We also have to decide how tall he is. I've seen 3 different reports in the past 24 hours of what his height is.
Okay.
7'3", 7'4", 7'5". We gotta decide before the draft.
Does it matter?
Well, we should call it something.
All I care about is his wingspan. I mean, that's really.
You like when a guy's 6'2" and his wingspan 6'8".
Wingspan. Yeah, no. I don't.
8 feet.
I don't know when that became a thing, but then when it became a thing, it was a big thing.
His wingspan is.
Do we blame Jay Billis for wingspan? He might have been the first. He's got wingspan of 6'10". He's 6'2". Yes, Mark.
I don't know how tall Kevin Durant is exactly, but he's got a 7'5" wingspan for a fact.
Yes, yes.
Victor's wingspan is listed here at 8 feet,
Oh.
which is if he laid down basically and somehow went like this and put his arm straight up in the air, his wingspan is almost taller than I can jump and touch.
Yeah, so
if that makes sense.
If he's planking, he could probably touch the net.
Good grief.
I got wingspan measurements from the NBA Combine. Zach Edey of Purdue, 7'10".
They're not talking about Zach. I haven't heard his name.
He's going back. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
They do hand measurements at the Combine as well. We don't talk about it.
What's Victor Wembanyama's hands? Why is it so important for an NFL player, but not for a basketball player? Or that we don't highlight those hand sizes? I mean, you got to have a handle. Everybody has to have a handle. Not everybody gets to hold the football in the NFL. But everybody in the NBA, you're holding the basketball. Do we have hand size for Victor Wembanyama?
I don't have it. Believe me, we're looking.
Okay. I hope we have it by tonight for the
I
draft.
hope the Spurs have it. They should be probably questioning things at this juncture.
Did you see him holding that?
Well, he
baseball?
held the baseball, and it looked like a golf ball.
We never really got to it yesterday, Marvin's reaction to Victor Wembanyama.
As soon as I saw that, and then Paulie goes, Marvin's going to have a bad day tomorrow.
Dang, you're getting 2 days out of it, Marvin.
I know. And then I said, you know what? I purposely didn't bring it up because I knew that it was going to be your 10-year anniversary. You were married 10 years ago. And congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
10 years today.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
No, you're still in love.
And in like.
Yeah. Well, that's more important.
Oh, for sure.
You fall in love. You stay married because you like each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, Paul.
And I think we're coming up on the 38th anniversary of Marvin having small hands, Marvin. When's your birthday? Because when they were born, they were very small, and they just stayed.
You know, when your child, they have like footprints when they're babies, or they have their handprints there. That you're like, oh, okay, we took these when you were a week old. Marvin, did you do that? Did your mom do that with your hands and your feet when you were born?
Huh?
Yeah, see.
Victor Wembanyama's hands are so big, he can palm a basketball using just his thumb and his middle finger.
Okay.
That's gigantic. Using just these two fingers, he can palm a basketball.
Well, maybe he has strong hands as well as big hands.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
But that's gigantic.
Gigantor.
Dang.
Connie Hawkins had the biggest hands I saw on a basketball court. And that's the first guy I remember. He just held the ball, like a Joker does now. Connie Hawkins would do that with he had these huge hands. Yes, Paul.
Wembanyama this year, he played for the Metropolitans in that Pro League.
Mm-hmm.
He took 215 free throws, and he shot 83% this year. I looked at his percentage. He didn't play a lot of basketball, a ton of competitive basketball where they kept a lot of stats.
Yeah.
But this year, his shooting percentage from the free throw line was 83%. From three-point land, it was about 29%.
Yeah, but I love that you can build upon that because you'll get your legs, you'll understand how to take advantage of your body shooting those kind of shots. When you can shoot from the free throw line and you have touch, that's really hard. Joker, good shooting big man from the line. Anthony Davis, good shooting. If you have those guys who are going to get fouled and then you send them to the line, they're making over 80% of their free throws. It's such a weapon. But we get caught up. Remember, Shaq's hands are too big for him to be good from the line. I went, that is nonsense. Victor's hands are bigger than Shaq's. Shaq never had a follow through. He had a shot put. Victor Wembanyama shoots it. Like he has a great looking form and touch. Shaq didn't. Shaq would just, if it went in, it was like, man, it's going in. If not, it's going to bounce out to half court. Yeah, Marv.
Watching old Lakers games on NBA TV or ESPN Classic or whatever, and you can see Shaq at the free throw line, and his hands he literally just shot put the ball.
Yeah.
It's not even no touch, no anything, and the ball would go in, and the Staples Center, it wouldn't even be. It'd be, oh,
I know.
Thank God.
I know.
And Kobe's like, God, get in shape.
It's just, and then I think somebody said that he broke his wrist when he was young, and he couldn't do with that normal follow through, that flick that you would have with Shaq. But there's no excuse for a big man not being a good free throw shooter. It's just put in the time, and for Victor to be shooting that well from the line, that's great. What a weapon. Having your guy who has the ball the most, like Joker, he goes to the line, you're going to pay for it.